Hi, all my beautiful friends. Welcome to my modern homestead. For those of you who are new here, my name is Janet, and I'm so glad you've come to join us today. Y'all just look. I'm not even halfway through my green bean row, and I'm going to have to go back in and get something else to put these in. We got just a little bit of rain last night. And y'all, sometimes that's all it takes is just a little bit of rain from heaven. A little bit of rain from heaven in 5 minutes can do more than you can do in a day of watering. It is amazing. I am so thankful. Thank you, Lord. In all the years I have been trying to grow in this sand, I've never gotten green beans to grow. And this year, I have enough to can. I'm so excited. We're just washing them. I'm going back and forth trying to get the sand and blooms off right now. And then we'll snap them and can them. Ooh, y'all, I did not have this on my radar to do this morning. But, y'all, I'm so thankful and blessed to be able to do it. I have them all washed and they are laid out drying. I'm going to use these purple beans, and I think these are tongues of fire. I'm going to keep these out and we'll eat them for supper. We'll just saute them with some garlic and butter or olive oil, whatever. But what we're going to do right now is just snap these beans. And as we snap, we'll just put them in the jars and get them ready to can. I can't wait to see how much we have. Alrighty, guys. So what you do is you just take your beans. There's the stem end, pop off this little end. And I've got a pan right at my feet. I'm just dropping the things in, and then you just snap them, without dropping them. And you can make them as long or as short as you like. I've done them both ways, short and long. That's about how long I like them, about 3 fingers width. So I'm just putting them right into the jar. That way, when I'm done, all I gotta do is put water and salt in them and pop them in the canner. Now you can also take these and freeze them whole. But if you do that, they need to be blanched first. I can't see what I'm doing, can you? So if you do that, just blanch them first. You'll just boil some water. Your hands in the way. What am I doing? It's all right. We'll just talk. Just boil some water. Drop your beans down in there for about 3 minutes, and they'll turn bright green. Do them in smaller batches that you can get out all at once, and then drop them down into some ice water and let them dry, and then put them in some bags, and then you freeze them. You can also do snap them and do them that way also. Now, as I said, this is the first time I've gotten enough out of my own garden to do anything with, but I've done green beans for years. I've done them all sorts of ways. My friend Morgan from Morgan Monday, check out her channel, it's really good. One year she found a local farmer who was just going to plow all of his green beans under because the plants were too short for the cultivators to reach the plants to get the green beans off. And she was like, no. She got permission from the farmer to go into that huge field and get whatever beans she wanted. And she called me one evening, can you help? My van is full of beans. We did beans, I think, for 2 days. We did over 200 quarts and gave away tons. And we had help that came in and helped us too, but she's crazy. We get into some of the goofiest stuff sometimes, but I love her to death. So, anyway, I'm just thankful and blessed that we can do this. I'm thankful we finally found out the secret. After all these years, our green beans do not like our water if it's watered overhead, we have to use soaker hoses. And other than that, and keeping them weeded, I didn't really do anything to them. In fact, we stuck them in the worst part of the garden just so that they would draw up nitrogen for future plants. Okay, we've got them all in jars, and you guys, we ended up with 8 full quarts. Now what Alissa is doing is adding some canning salt, kosher salt. I can't remember what's in there, which one. You can use either. So she's adding 1 teaspoon to every jar. Now we just need to wipe off the rims and get the lids on. Guys, we just need to add water up to 1 inch head space. I don't get fussy with my green beans. Just add the water in moderately, slowly, just not super quickly. You'll get there one day. You can go faster than this, but I just needed to talk. 1 inch head space. I do cold tap water. It's fine. That might not be what the book tells you to do, but this is just what I do. Make sure you do your research. So there we go. I'll do this to the rest of the jars, and then we'll put the lids on. I forgot that part. I just bounce it a little bit, knock some of the bubbles out, and we just stick a flat on. Then your ring, finger tight. Don't lock it down. You don't need to. That's it. All right, last 2 jars. Let's turn the heat up and put the lid on. Remember, we started with cold water because everything in the jars is cold. Let's get the lid as even as possible. Sorry about the noise of my ice maker. And we'll just lock it down. All right. All we do at this point is wait for the steam to start coming out of the stem, and then we'll time it for 10 minutes before we put on the regulator. Alrighty guys, while I'm waiting for that to start steaming, I'm going to go ahead and work on my sourdough starter, my friend Morgan that I was telling you about earlier. This is her starter that she got from a friend, and the original starter was 100 years old, but I'm going to go ahead and save some of it. It's actually over 100 years old. So I put 2 tablespoons in there, 2 tablespoons of flour in there. And then I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of the starter and put it in here. She's not super exact. She told me not to worry about being super exact. Just a hair more. And then I'll put some water in it. And what I'm going to do with this is freeze it so that if something happens to this, I will have this to fall back on. So I did 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of the starter. So I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of the water. Pardon me, I'm making a huge mess. And just stir it together. If it's too thin, I'll just add a little bit more starter and flour. So, there we go, guys. Okay, we have steam coming out, so I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes to let it vent. And then we'll put on the regulator. Alright, let's put on our weight. Where I am, we need it at 10 pounds. Let me burn myself. Let me see. There we go. All right, and then we'll let it come up to 11 pounds pressure. All right, let's set the timer for 25 minutes for quarts. If you have hold on, 25. If you have pints, you can do them at 20 minutes. That was fast. All right, let's turn it off. And we are going to leave it right there. Not going to do anything to it. Whatever you do, please do not touch that or remove it until this has come down to 0. We'll be back. Hey, this has come down to 0 pressure, but we're not going to do anything. We're just going to leave it right here. Let it cool down a little more before we ever try to open it. Because right now, if I move this, normally it's going to make a lot of noise. See, hold on. You don't want that much noise coming out when you take it off. So just leave it for a few minutes. All right, while we're waiting on the green beans to continue to cool down, I have some leftover bacon grease, and I've just got that heating in the cast iron skillet, and we're going to saute these beans. You don't have to use bacon grease, but that was just already in my skillet. You can use olive oil, you can use butter, coconut oil, whatever oil you prefer. Let's put the beans in. Season with a little salt. This is sea salt. Some garlic powder. And just let them saute for a few minutes. These last few seconds, just add a little bit of minced garlic, stir it around, and it's done. Think about the purple pod green beans. They don't stay purple when they cook. They turn green. It's so sad. Okay, this has been sitting forever. I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. Still, as long as it's been sitting, there's noise coming out of it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and unlock it and let it cool down a little bit more, and then take the jars out.
That child of mine, and I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was doing that. There we go. There are our 8 quarts of beans all finished. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with us. So, until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys. Mwah.